Happy Friday, everybody. Intel and Amazon moving the indexes around. And some of the ETFs, these big market cap weighted companies, can do that. Let's just take a look at the sectors that are moving here. There's the semis on the upside. And, of course, Intel is 8% of the weighting in the semiconductors index. So when that's up, we had good news from them. Generally, free cash flow guidance was strong for the rest of the year. That's a good sign for the overall space here. Semiconductors, of course, a little bit of a bellwether for tech demand. Home builders have been doing well recently. Regional banks have been doing well since the earnings season started. Consumer staples a little weak. Amazon, as Carl mentioned, is the big mover. Was down 6% in the pre-open, now down a little bit less than that. As you can see, just about 4%. But we're 15% off of the old highs for Amazon, which we hit back here, as you can see. And it does move the indexes when you have these big market cap companies. Let me just show you here. It's Amazon's 3% of the weighting in the S&P 500. But look, it's almost 23% of the consumer discretionary weighting. And in the Nasdaq 100 triple Qs, it's almost 10% of the Nasdaq 100. And you can see when these things start moving a little bit that they tend to affect the overall indices. So just put up here how the S&P 500 is against the consumer discretionary. You see just flat here, but consumer discretionary much weaker. That's because of Amazon. You see the difference there between the two, and also the triple Qs weaker than the S&P 500. That's also because of the influence of Amazon. You see how these big market cap stocks move these ETFs around that you own and we all know and love right now. Let's just move on here. The consumer, look how it's moving these. See, this is a market cap weighted semiconductor ETF. Because it's so heavy in this group here that you see here, you can see how Amazon is moving that down. And this is an equal weight ETF, and it almost has no effect on that. So market cap versus equal weight really changes it. It depends on what you own here. You got to know these ETFs and what you're owning. Let me just move on to Visa. The consumer's healthy. Bottom line, Visa had very good numbers. And the more important thing is they had initial 2020 revenue guidance that was very strong. This is an indication. Visa at least believes that the U.S. consumer is going to be strong. That stock's been a monster this year, trading to the upside. That's good news. U.S. consumer is the global growth engine right now. Finally, maybe a little bit of excitement down here on Monday. We're finally going to get Virgin Galactic down here. Now, this is not an IPO. They're not floating any new shares here. You might recall what's going on here. Richard Branson is going to own 51% of the company. Social Capital, that's Chamal Palihapitiya's group, is going to own 49%. Recall that Chamal floated a SPAC down here a while ago. The symbol is IPOA, and that is still trading as of today. But what's going to happen is, here was the announcement. They were buying into it right there. IPOA we want to put up there. The important thing is that company, IPOA, is going to go away. Richard Branson's capital is going to go into it here. And on Monday, you'll see a new company, SPC. Should be very exciting, Carl. They're going to have spacemen down here. They'll have a spaceship. They know how to do things right. We'll be here covering all of that. Back to you.